Neha Punia reports from New Delhi.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said that Pakistan's appointment as the Vice Chair of the UNSC's Counter-Terrorism Committee raises, quote, serious questions on the intentions and policies of international organizations. He said Pakistan gives refuge to global terrorist organizations who roam around freely and have the support of the Pakistani army. Islamabad has repeatedly denied these charges. Neha Punia, New Delhi.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. Mike Will and Tyson of running ready to start your day the right way with all of your news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here on this Wednesday, the 11th day of June for 2025. Several things we'll be talking about here today. Nebraska has landed another football recruit. We'll tell you who he is. Going to be talking some Nebraska softball as they look forward to the 2026 season. A lot of Legion baseball played around the area last night, including the matchups between the Kearney juniors and seniors and the Hastings juniors and seniors. That was in action last night out at Duncan Field. The Hastings Sodbusters, they were in action last night out in Casper. We'll tell you how they did coming up. NBA playoffs continuing, the NHL playoffs continuing. The Royals took one on the chin last night to the New York Yankees. Just some of the things we'll be talking about here this morning. Plus, we'll be talking about a special concert coming up Friday night at Brickyard Park in Hastings, as Brianne Stone is going to be joining us here in a little bit to talk about her performance. So a lot on the table here this morning as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios here this morning. Good morning.
And good morning, Mike. It should be a fun show today. Got a chance to catch up with my good friend and singer-songwriter Brianne Stone yesterday, a little coffee shop conversation. So looking forward to getting that underway at around 7:30 here this morning. You mentioned it, a big Sodbuster victory last night, 7 runs in the 9th inning. I mean, wow. And just really impressive performance as they tend to do that. They like to come on late, and it's one of the conversation we've had on the show, like that baseball league is one that you just cannot leave a game at, because at any given moment you can see things like that happen, and we've seen it more than once in that travel league, and that was fun to see last night. Just following along on the score, and a 7-run 9th inning as the Busters pick up the win in Casper, and looking forward to continuing to follow that series.
Yeah, the Spuds and the Sodbusters will play another game tonight before Hastings will return home for a weekend series. So a good outing for the Hastings Sodbusters last night. We had Legion baseball last night here on Extreme Sports. Kearney Bisco Sports scoring 6 runs in the 5th inning. They beat Hastings 5 Points Bank by the score of 6-3 last night. Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes took advantage of 13 walks. Oof. Yeah, 13 of them, count them, to beat Kearney Pinnacle Bank by the score of 17-12. Hastings back in action tonight as they take on Columbus out of Duncan Field. Again, 5 o'clock for the juniors game. It'll be 7:30 starting time for the seniors. We'll have both games tonight here on Extreme Sports. Hastings runs also in action tonight. They'll be playing a doubleheader over at Sutton. Also in action last night on the Legion front, Grand Island Home Federal beating Columbus Cornerstone by a score of 8-3. Grand Island will play a couple of games at North Platte tonight. So I get you up to date on what's going on in the Legion levels. We'll have some more Legion baseball coming your way later on today here on Extreme Sports.
How do you stay locked in as a broadcaster in those kind of games? I mean, 13 walks. Though for me, that is so hard to stay mentally focused and and locked into a broadcast when you have that many walks. It just really bogs and almost grinds the game down to a halt.
Oh, no doubt. And
How do you lock in?
Yeah, a couple of hit batters in there. They had obviously a lot of errors, a lot of runs scored. 17-12, the final last night in the juniors ball game. You just have to keep rolling ahead, huh? It wasn't a great game, but
Right?
Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes picked up the win. It was a long game, I know that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long one. Yeah, 29 runs scored. It was a back-and-forth type of game. Each team had big innings, but Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes had the last big inning, and that's all they needed, 17-12 last night. So that's what's going on in Legion baseball. Nebraska got another football recruit. We got an offensive tackle out of Chandler, Arizona, Rex Waterman. He's the number 19 recruit in the state, the number 107 offensive tackle in his class. He is a 3-star prospect, according to 24/7 Sports. Had a lot of other offers. He'll become the 5th addition to Nebraska's 2026 recruiting class. So,
Nice.
Offensive tackle Rex Waterman is in the mix. Did you see Aaron Rodgers yesterday?
I've tried to avoid the Aaron Rodgers news lately.
He had his first news conference
good.
down in Pittsburgh. Evidently, he got married a couple of months ago. No one knew it. He was seen with a wedding band on his finger the other day when he was signing his contract. So that was one of the first things that came up in his news conference yesterday.
Why?
Yeah, just because he's Aaron Rodgers, just because we need something to talk about here in the month of June. So they
You're
asked him about
sports reporter. Ask him about playing quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. What he's got offensively. What he's looking forward to. If your first question right out of the gate as a sports reporter is, "Hey, I noticed you got a wedding band on."
Yeah, did you get married?
What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, 2 months ago, evidently, he got married. No one knew about it.
Well, that's
So,
Rodgers for you.
I don't know who he got married to. There's not a whole lot of information on who his wife is, but I'm sure people will be diving into that. He said the Pittsburgh Steelers was the only team that he was going to play for this year. We all knew that. As that saga kind of unfolded here over the past several months, when Pittsburgh didn't make a move in the NFL draft to draft any kind of a quarterback or move up to draft one of the big guys, and they released 2 of their other quarterbacks that played quite a bit last year, we all knew that Aaron Rodgers would eventually sign. He did for $13 million. Now he needs some personal days off to clear his mind to get ready for the season. But he's evidently taking snaps at Pittsburgh, but he needs some additional time off to clear his mind. Yeah, he's got some personal things to handle now. He's got a wife at home.
No wonder he wanted to get back into the NFL so bad. Had the wife at home now. Probably spent 2 months with her and we're like, you know what? I need to find a job. I need something to do.
Find a job? A J-O-B job?
Well, I mean, with his line of work, that job means play quarterback. But yeah, he probably needed something to do.
So he signs with Pittsburgh. He's getting ready for the season. Mm-hmm. I was asked by Marcus last night that I still feel that Aaron Rodgers is going to take Pittsburgh to a 500 season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still resting. I'm still resting on that.
You're still going to, I mean, you're on that hill. You might as well defend it.
Well, he was talking about his Jets, and he was asking me about the New York Jets.
Sure.
And he was talking about all the problems that the Jets have got for this season. And I said, I don't see a 500 season for the Jets. I think he's going to be suffering through another miserable year as a fan of the New York Jets. So I gave him my take on the Jets. I still felt that Aaron Rodgers would get Pittsburgh to a 500 season. The only thing that Marcus talked about yesterday was how he liked the Jets logo. And when you got to talk about the Jets logo and your most favorite thing that's happening in the offseason, you know you're heading for a dismal year. When you got to talk about how you like the New York Jets logo.
I think the Jets drafted really well for a change. I think it's a little bit of unorthodox feeling as a Jets fan right now. You don't know how to feel. You actually had a good offense and a good off season, putting you in a scenario where it's unfamiliar territory for him. I will say this: Dakota, by the way, chiming in says Steelers 5 wins. I think I kind of put the over/under at 6 the other day. I'll say this: at the end of the season, the Jets will have more wins than the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I can say that pretty confidently.
Oh, I think I'd wager on that.
Jets more wins than the Pittsburgh Steelers this season.
Maybe I've got to read into a little bit more about Pittsburgh. Am I jumping on their bandwagon too soon?
Well, I mean, again, as I told you before, like, quarterback's not the biggest. For a team not to go into the offseason with a quarterback wasn't even their biggest concern. Like, they have so many other holes on that football team that they need to fill. There are so many other pieces on that wagon that is falling apart. And I don't think it's just a quarterback issue. They are going to win less than 6 games, or 6 games or less, not just because of Aaron Rodgers' factor.
All right, you'd say the Jets are going to win more games than the Steelers.
Yes.
All right, they meet in week 1 of the season.
That's outstanding.
Pittsburgh is still a 3-point favorite over the Jets in that ball game. Shane, he has chimed in already on our social media sites. He says he'll take that bet. He'll take the bet that the Jets are going to win more games than the Steelers.
I'm assuming he's on Team Pittsburgh here.
Or does he like Pittsburgh? He's kind of vague in his tweet or his little comment here on our social media sites.
He's taking whoever wins the bet.
He says, I'll take that bet.
I'm on the winning side. No, I think the Jets over-under have more wins than the Pittsburgh Steelers this season.
I haven't seen the over-unders officially out in Vegas for the upcoming season.
Same as
chance to look that up. Maybe throughout the show here we could get to that.
Got a crack research department.
402-834-1330 is our telephone number if you'd like to chime in with us here today. Anything that's on your mind, sports-related or not, we'll discuss it here this morning. If you'd like to leave us a message on our social media sites, you can do that as well. Lots of people hanging out in the lobby this morning, joining us for breakfast as we get you up and get you going with all the news, weather, and sports that you're going to need to get you through the day today.
All the sports, like everything going on. We have NBA championship basketball and NHL Stanley Cup finals, and we have some great scores to get to from Major League Baseball last night. And we're talking about the 2 potentially worst teams in the AFC in Pittsburgh, and the Jets are highlighting our show. I love it.
That was really not on the top of my show list ideas.
Yeah.
But I just ran into the Marcus last night, and we got into a little discussion about that. We'll bring up the NBA Finals. They continue tonight as Oklahoma City will play at Indiana. That series is tied up at a game apiece, so NBA stuff on the tube tonight. Stanley Cup has got another night off.
Yep, no hockey tonight. Another night off before they resume play in Florida. Game 4, Florida with the 2-1 advantage over the Edmonton Oilers.
Yankees beat the Kansas City Royals last night 10-2. Yeah, 10-2. Wasn't a contest. Same 2 teams will play tonight. First pitch will be at 6:40 down at Kauffman Stadium. The IT guy is weighing in again. He's on the Steelers.
All right, that's fine.
He told us he'll take that bet. He says the Steelers with more wins. So he's on my side. The Steelers will win more than the New York Jets this year. It's funny how we're talking about the NFL football season and we're in mid-June. That's how dismal the sports scene can be at this time of the year.
What's the matter? You didn't get your fix on baseball last night?
What else happened in Major League Baseball besides the Royals losing to the New York Yankees 10-2?
Good series in Minnesota with two teams that are kind of flirting around in the 30-win total. Texas Rangers taking it to Minnesota. Minnesota was coming in pretty hot, actually, after a really dreaded start from both of these franchises. Texas looks like they're starting to turn it on. They went 16-4. Cardinals were roller coaster ride against the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto was able to slug out one by the score of 10-9. And San Diego, the Padres flexing on the Dodgers in a 9-run victory out in Petco Park late last night.
So those are highlights from Major League Baseball from last night. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. The Nebraska softball team just wrapped up their season, and already they've released their 2026 schedule.
Cashing in
a little early. Yeah, they're going to be playing in 4 tournaments this year, 4 home conference series and 4 road conference series in 2026. We'll tell you more about that when we check sports in a little bit. Nebraska officially finishing in 12th place in the final ESPN USA Today softball top 25 poll. I know how you like these polls at the end of the season. Well, Nebraska finished 12th in the final poll.
Good. I love final polls, especially ones that rank the top 12 teams, and then you have one team that didn't even make the playoffs that gets in the top 12, despite the fact that you only take 12 to put them in the playoffs. And then you see somebody sneak into the 8 spot who wasn't even a part of the college football postseason, just because these writers have a vindictive bone and to pick with the selection committee. I love polls; they're awesome.
Nebraska finishing 12th. They were 43-15. Number 12. I'll give you a chance to guess who was on top of the poll. Let's see. Let's see who would be on top of the poll of the ESPN USA Softball Top 25 poll, the final one for this season.
Horns down.
Hey, how about the team that won the national championship? Wouldn't that be an ideal spot for them? Texas.
Horns down.
And then how about the team that lost to Texas in the national championship series? How about put them number 2 in the poll, shall we?
It's almost like they did.
Texas Tech second.
It's almost like they played it out like that.
Oklahoma third.
Fascinating.
Tennessee fourth. UCLA fifth.
Sure.
Running out the poll, if anybody cares. Oregon, Florida, Ole Miss, Florida State, South Carolina. Again, the Huskers in at number 12. You've got more people jumping on board my Pittsburgh Steelers bandwagon. I don't even like the Steelers.
Right.
Yeah, that is not one of my most favorite teams in the NFL. They are far down the pecking order of the teams that I would cheer for in the NFL, and all of a sudden everybody thinks I'm hopping aboard the Pittsburgh Steelers bandwagon for 2026. The only thing I said is that Aaron Rodgers would lead the Steelers to close to a 500 record and possibly to a playoff berth.
Mm-hmm.
The Chief is chiming in. He'd like to bet a soda on my wager. He's on my side as well. So again,
Steelers.
It appears that you are on the island like you usually are on most of our issues. You're on your own little island out there all by yourself, thinking that the Jets are going to have a better season than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm used to it.
The Chief,
I like Ty's Island.
Yeah, the Chief is already in. You're betting a soda on that bet.
Okay, I can handle that. Dakota's chiming in. Says, good thing you guys are talking about football in June. ... Did you see your fantasy teams last year? Rubbing it in, as the champ would.
Oh, God, I can't even remember how he did in fantasy football last year.
It was that memorable. I'll be honest with you.
In that league with you guys?
Yeah.
Was I last? No, I wasn't last.
You weren't, dead last.
But I don't think I got into the playoffs, did I?
And you did not?
No, I got into the playoffs and I got beat in the first round.
Well, that's not the way you want to do it.
Yeah, so I got into the playoffs. So I was one of the top teams. Well, not the top teams, but I was one of the top 8.
First
in our
team's
league.
out. I would have ranked you number 12.
No, I don't think I was that bad.
if you get postseason rankings.
I finished in the top 8 because I made the playoffs. We got a tough league.
It's competitive.
Dakota, no wonder he's already talking about fantasy football. No wonder he's the champion all the
Hell,
time.
he's already put his draft board together. He's ready to go. Like, if we drafted today, Dakota would be ready. Like, with knowledge of the teams and their camps and breakout receivers that take 4 years to break out.
I told you last week that we ought to have a June draft.
We were talking about doing it on this week's show.
Yeah, we ought to have a June draft on this show.
We should do
not on the show,
like
but
a mock draft special would be great.
Not in June.
Oh, no, but like, yeah. A way too early fantasy football mock draft.
Oh, God. I don't have time for that right now. I don't have time to sit down and pick my fantasy football team in June. That's like over a couple of sodas.
Yeah.
And your computer, and you just start picking players.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
On draft day, just start picking players. God, who would be your top draft choice right now?
My top draft choice?
Yeah, if you had to pick one today. See, I'm going to put you on the spot because I don't know either.
I mean...
You know me, if Patrick Mahomes is available, whether or not he's a good fantasy football player or not, I'd choose him.
I had to take Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, Saquon would be a good pick right off of the bat.
Saquon would be one. Yeah.
If I gave you one player that you could put on your roster right now, would it be Saquon Barkley?
Yeah. Madden curse be damned.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty good pick. Should have had the rushing
title
last year, but sat out the last week. That'd be a good pick for your fantasy draft in the month of June. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. 720. Of course, I always draft.
You draft the Chiefs.
I always draft all the Chiefs players, and I draft them in a weird order.
Is Isaiah Pacheco available? I want to make sure I get him locked on my team.
Yeah, or the kicker.
Harrison Butker in like the second round.
Because I want to make sure I have a good kicker. Yeah,
the Chiefs defense coming off in the 5th.
I draft unconventionally when I get into the league for fantasy football, to say the least. I did win the championship about 10 years ago.
That's like going back to your high school in a Letterman jacket that doesn't fit anymore. What are you doing? Recalling your glory from 10 years ago? Shane says that Dakota's going to take Ashton Genty in the first round.
Oh, he probably will. We're not already getting into fantasy talk here.
This is what I told you. I told you.
Quit it.
This would happen.
Quit it.
We have a special. That's why we need an hour special on the show.
Quit it. We're not going to be talking about fantasy football in June. Quit it.
You slapping my hand over there from the Eastern Studios? I love it.
All right, 7:23. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Yesterday, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement conducted a significant raid at Glen Valley Foods, a meatpacking plant in Omaha, where approximately 75 to 80 workers were detained, with ICE stating that the operation was part of a border criminal investigation into the employment of undocumented individuals. Despite the company's use of the E-Verify system, ICE officials criticized its effectiveness. Company President Chad Hartman expressed confusion and frustration, asserting the company's full legal compliance. The raid has instilled fear within local government or local immigrant community, with many concerned about potential deportations and the separation of families. Protests even erupted outside the plant, with demonstrators attempting to block ICE vehicles and expressing solidarity with the detained workers. Yesterday, Governor Jim Pillen and the Nebraska Department of Education hosted a ceremony at the state capitol rotunda to recognize graduates from the class of 2025 who achieved a top score on their ACT college entrance exam. The Department of Education Commissioner Dr. Brian Maher joined the governor to recognize the students for their outstanding accomplishments. Historically, on average, less than 0.1% of students score a 36 on the ACT, and this year, 33 Nebraskans in the high school graduating class achieved that accomplishment. And instead of fantasy football talk, as college baseball fans prepare to head to Omaha, the Nebraska Department of Transportation is reminding drivers to be ready for heavier than normal traffic, especially along Interstate 80. If you're headed to Omaha for the 2025 College World Series at Charles Schwab Field, you can expect delays in slow traffic in construction zones, especially near downtown Omaha and West Omaha. The Nebraska Department of Transportation reminds travelers to slow down and pay attention in construction zones. It's 7:25. Let's head back over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's the haps in sports?
Well, Nebraska has landed another football recruit. Offensive tackle Rex Waterman of Chandler, Arizona, has committed to the Huskers. He is a 3-star prospect, according to 24/7 Sports. Number 19 recruit in the state of Arizona, the number 107 offensive tackle in the class. Waterman had other offers from UCLA, Arizona State, Boise State, Duke, Kansas State, Northern Arizona, Oregon State, San Diego State, and UNLV. Before deciding on the Huskers, he's the 5th addition to Nebraska's 2026 recruiting class. Nebraska finished 12th in the final ESPN USA Today softball top 25 poll. Huskers finished 43-15 last season. Texas ranked number 1. Texas Tech is second, followed by Oklahoma, Tennessee, and UCLA. Rounding out the top 10 are Oregon, Florida, Ole Miss, Florida State, and South Carolina. The Nebraska softball team will play in 4 tournaments, 4 home conference series, and 4 road conference series in 2026. Huskers will open the season at the UTSA Invitational in San Antonio, February 6th through the 8th, before traveling to Clearwater, Florida, for the ESPN Clearwater Invitational, February 12th through the 15th. That tournament will feature 2025 College World Series participants, Texas Tech, Tennessee, and UCLA. Huskers will also play in the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic from February 19th through the 22nd, before hosting their own tournament March 13th through the 15th. Nebraska will play a home conference series next year against Michigan, UCLA, Rutgers, and Iowa. Their road conference series will be against Michigan State, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Penn State. Kearney Misco Sports scored 6 runs in the 5th inning to beat Hastings 5 Points Bank 6-3 last night out of Duncan Field. Tristan Engelhart was the winning pitcher. Carlos Jimenez took the loss. Devin Carroll had a couple of base hits for Kearney. Isaiah Shaw had 2 hits for Hastings. Both teams are now 9-4 on the season. Hastings will play host to Columbus tonight at 7:30. Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes took advantage of 13 walks to beat Kearney Pinnacle Bank 17-12 last night. Jackson Brooks had 2 hits and 3 RBIs for Hastings. Brooks Rethorst had 3 hits for Kearney. Trenton Deggett threw 4 2/3 innings of relief to pick up the win. Drayden Reedy took the loss. Kearney is now 7-7 on the season. Hastings is 7-4. The Braves will play Columbus tonight at 5:30. We'll have both games from Duncan Field tonight on Extreme Sports, beginning with a pregame show at 4:45 this afternoon. Hastings Runza will also be in action tonight. They'll play a doubleheader at Sutton beginning at 5:30. The Warriors are 5-3 on the season. Other action last night, Grand Island Home Federal beat Columbus Cornerstone by a score of 6-3. Grand Island is now 4-8 and will play a doubleheader at North Platte tonight. Hastings Sodbusters scored 7 runs in the 9th inning to beat the Casper Spuds 10-6 last night. Hastings is now 10-1. Same 2 teams will play tonight. And the New York Yankees beat Kansas City 10-2 last night. Same two teams will play tonight. First pitch will be at 6:40 at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. To check in your sports headlines, it's now 7:29 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
On this Wednesday, today will be the hottest day of the year thus far in 2025. 94 degrees will be the high, plenty of sunshine, a little breezy. Southerly winds 10 to 15 will have gusts into the mid-20s. Overnight tonight, we'll keep a little bit of wind and low of 65. 90s the high on Thursday, mostly sunny skies, still breezy. Then as we get through Thursday night and every night into the weekend, we bring in chances for showers and thunderstorms.
I'm liking it. 94 for the high today. Right now we've got south winds at 8 miles per hour. It is clear. 64 degrees in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
Get ready, race fans. Cam Raceway is teaming up with Extreme Sports for an electrifying season of high-speed, dirt-slinging, adrenaline-pumping action. Every race night, we're bringing you live video coverage straight from the track, so you won't miss a single lap, pass, or photo finish. From non-wing warriors to cage karts, flat karts, and the A-class wing beasts, we've got it all. There's nothing like the roar of the engines, the smell of burning rubber, and the rush of dirt flying action right in front of you. So get to the track and experience it live. But if you can't make it, don't sweat. Extreme Sports has you covered. Buckle up, because this season is going to be fast, fierce, and unforgettable. Make sure you like and follow Extreme Sports on Facebook to get all the latest updates, and we will see you at the track.
All right, Mike Wildside and Veronica with you. It's a Wednesday morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, the 11th day of June for 2025. Again, thanks for joining us, whether you're listening to us on our website at x-streamsports.com, maybe on your smartphone on the way to on your way to work this morning with our free mobile app, your smart speaker, Roku TV, beaching out in front of the TV on your couch. Maybe got the day off. Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're listening to us, thanks for joining us here. Appreciate each and every one of you. And don't forget, tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Hell, you can tell your enemies if they want. To join us each and every weekday morning, 7 until 8, huddle up on Extreme Sports.
Absolutely. YouTube lobby is busting today. A lot of people anxious, I'm sure, to hear from our celebrity guest coming up here later on in the program, Breanne Stone. We'll get to that interview, a little coffee shop and conversation yesterday over at Baristas. Had an opportunity to get an iced coconut mocha. Hit the spot.
I guess I can't chime in, but I'm not a big coffee drinker.
I know.
I know a lot of people are that stop and get like this iced coffee every morning.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, yeah, when I go to Vegas or like a venue like that, people are standing in line, long lines each and every morning to get their iced coffee.
Yeah, you never need, and that was always the wildest thing for me because, like, when we worked at the same establishment, my very first thing before I did anything, before I even got into my office, was immediately go to the break room and start and turn the coffee pot on. And you had been there, by the time I showed up, a solid 2.5 hours before me, and it never, like, you never once turned on the coffee pot. You never needed it. Like, you didn't need the caffeine.
No,
and that was wild to me.
I'm not a coffee drinker. That is wild because the hours that I kept at that time, I never got into coffee. I was always a strong Mountain Dew drinker at that time.
Sure.
And I guess that satisfied my cravings in the morning. I was a strong Mountain Dew drinker back then.
Oh, I had to have a cup of coffee before you could even have a conversation with me.
Yeah, most of the time, you didn't even know where you were.
Nope.
You walked through the front door and didn't even know where you were at.
Didn't know. I mean, I knew where I was at, but I didn't know what day it was. I didn't know how early it was.
I woke up this morning and didn't know what day it was. I don't know why. It took me a while to figure out what the hell day it is.
Did you treat it like a Friday last night when you got done, or what?
No, it was a late night, obviously.
Yeah.
We didn't get done till...
I was going to say, you wrapped up about 10:30, right?
Yeah, it was late, and then by the time you got home and got everything, kind of unwound from the day, I'm sure I didn't get to bed. I'll have to check my Apple Watch to see what time I really went to sleep.
See, I don't do the Apple Watches. I
just recently started to track my sleep time.
I don't need that kind of shaming. Like, I know my health is crap. I don't need a watch to tell me that.
Well, I'm not getting enough sleep. And I knew that, but I wanted to see how bad it was.
Uh-huh.
But now it tells me I'm not getting enough sleep. Tell me something I don't know.
Right.
I haven't got enough sleep for years. Like, you're supposed to average like 8 hours.
Oh, Jesus, no.
Of sleeping time. I think that's what everybody says. I'm not even close to that.
No.
Are you? I don't know when you work late sometimes down at the downtown.
Yeah,
so
we're nights now. Like,
yeah,
whether it's Duncan or whether it's First Street.
You don't.
I'm getting home at 10.
Yeah, you don't get 8 hours of sleep.
And nobody can just get home after like an event, especially like for like us as broadcasters or even entertainers. Like when I'm out and on the field and doing that on the field stuff, and you got to get to a certain level of adrenaline to be able to pump yourself up to do that, to pump up crowds, to get them fired up. And once you build up that adrenaline, like, it doesn't just drain the minute I walk in the door. There's a procedure that has to happen.
Yeah, you can't just walk in, peel your clothes off, and go to bed.
No, there's a wind-down process. Anyways, that always just amazed me. Like, you were never a coffee drinker, despite getting back in sometimes from Lincoln or Omaha at midnight. 1 o'clock in the morning and turning around and being at the studio at 4 a.m., which is still crazy to me. Even
Well,
for a 6 o'clock show.
what is your favorite drink of choice there in the morning?
Like if I'm getting my options, it's a coconut mocha latte.
That's number one on the list.
Mm-hmm.
So you had that yesterday when you did your interview.
Or coconut mocha, iced coconut mocha. There it is.
God.
Sometimes like the French vanilla latte is also really good. But it's like during the summer, it's got to be iced. I'm not drinking hot coffee when it's 85 degrees out. That's crazy.
So you drink iced coffee.
Yeah.
All right. 7:39. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. It's Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Let's join your little conversation, shall we, as you were sipping on your iced coffee yesterday.
Yeah, had an opportunity. Big Friday show coming up, by the way. Being put on by the Hastings Tribune, and they're bringing live music into Brickyard Park. There'll be some food trucks. Those vendors will be available. First Street Brewing will be out and about. I'll be down there slinging some drinks for people, and an opportunity to catch some really good music. Brianne Stone is the opener to the Blue Collar Band, and she's been a good friend of mine and a colleague over at the brewery, and we had an opportunity to chat about her lifestyle as a singer-songwriter and where she's been on the tour and what she has plans for in the future.
It is Huddle Up, Central Nebraska's newest morning show. Tyson and Veronica with you out and about on location on finally a warm summer day. It's been... We're midway through June, and I feel like this is the first time it's got over 85 degrees, but we digress. We are talking with Brianne Stone this morning here on the show, and we're live on location at the coffee shop over here at Baristas. And first of all, wanted to bring you on the program because there is an upcoming show coming up on Friday, but also just wanted to sit and chit-chat with one of my good friends who is back in town and getting ready for the upcoming show at Brickyard Park. Again, artist, singer, songwriter, Brianne Stone joining us here on the show. And Brianne, always appreciate the time.
Hi, Tyson.
Brianne, let's just talk a little bit about, first of all, why we brought you on the show. There is an upcoming concert at Brickyard Park in that beautiful amphitheater coming up on Friday, and an absolute great opportunity for the community to come out and see some really good music.
Absolutely. It's a cool opportunity for that place that's needing some love to come to life. I feel like it's such a cool venue, and there's not a lot of people that get to play at it, so I feel very excited to go play on that big old stage in the middle of Hastings.
So talking just a little bit about that opportunity, how did that all come about, and what were some of the connections that you've made along the way to make that a reality?
So Darren Fowler is Hastings Tribune. See what happened. Last year I was at one of the shows, and I looked at Jesse Haft of First Street Brewery. I was like, I want to do this. I want to play there. And that powerhouse of a woman walked over to Darren and got me a show in like 10 minutes. So ended up opening there last year, and then told Darren that I was putting together some other musicians to back me for this year. So then he had me come in to open for Blue Collar Band, which is really cool. Ryan Hoffman's a really nice guy, so I'm excited to hear them play as well. They've been doing that for like 10 decades. No, a decade. That's 100 years. 10 years.
Again, Brianne Stone joining us this morning on Huddle Up as we promote Friday's upcoming show over at Brickyard Park, but also talk a little bit about your journey into music and into being a singer-songwriter. And as of now, you've been traveling kind of around the Midwest with stops in Colorado, stops in Kansas, and more stops along the way. How did music, which is a part of both of our lives, become your passion and something that drove you into what you become today?
I feel like I've been doing this for a long time, and I think it finally found the music path a little later on in life. Been doing it since I was in the teens, and there's probably a version of me that did do that since I was 18 and jumped right into the wagon wheel, but I decided to go down a million other avenues before full circling back to this one. And then, so now I'm just kind of at a point in my life where I want to do it. The courage and the confidence to do it. So we're just going all in and touring, and it's pretty cool. I'm with HPPR, which is High Plains Public Radio.
Okay.
That actually came about from Flatwater last year, ended up meeting a woman who introduced me to a woman that's connected to HPPR. It really is like networking, door opening, who you meet, you know? And then that was kind of the beginning of this little path, which is teaching me a lot about booking shows, a lot about marketing myself, a lot about promoting myself, a lot about what I need as a musician to make me look professional. And I ended up talking to this guy the other day and had this like hour and a half long conversation. It was actually initially to ask him about potentially signing to a record label and asking like the pros and cons of doing that. And he ended up being this like whole other spiel of him like telling me exactly what I need to get to where I want to go, which kind of like made the path of the music industry a lot less mysterious for me. I feel like I'm walking into a world I don't know anything about, and now I know a bit more about it. So that's exciting.
How much of those connections were established right here in Hastings in just a matter of the stars being aligned at the... do you ever like sit back and think about that, right?
Like all of them, eh? Right. Yeah, that's so weird. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about how this community has been such a big impact and really influence on your career.
I mean, massively, eh? And like I'd say like the First Street Brewery has been such a like massive center for both of our lives, right? And what I think Jesse and Nathan kind of encouraged more music playing with like maybe 4 years ago. We started like an open mic, and then that turned into First and St. Joe. So I was with them for a little bit, and then that got me to branch off into my own little world. But then not only that, like with the support and encouragement from everyone at the brewery, Jesse and Nathan in particular, but then the community that's there, that surrounds the brewery is like so beautiful and so supportive. And that's like half people whenever I throw a local show are people I've met through the brewery, you know, that come out and support and listen to me sing and do what I do. It's really cool.
Again, Brianne.
It's like all from the brewery.
I know, right?
It's insane. Yeah.
Brianne Stone joining us here this morning on Central Nebraska's newest morning show, Huddle Up. A lot of people have asked me since I got to be a part of your Christmas show and run some video and run some sound for you. But they're like, what does Brianne Stone sound like? What is how would you describe her? What artist would you throw together? And I really can only tell them like Brianne Stone sounds like Brianne Stone. There isn't a lot of emulating that you try to go after. There isn't a lot of duplication that you do. Very original sound. How would you describe your influences in music and what you've tried to incorporate into your shows?
That's sweet, Tyson.
Told you, compliment showers.
I love that. Keep them coming. I'm here for it. I'd say my music comes from myself.
Yeah.
Comes from my life. It comes from what I'm working through at the time. It comes from, it just comes from within my own being. I don't really have, I mean, of course, like I have the bands and the people that I like listening to, but I can't really ever say that I've like directly listened to a song and been like, ooh, I want to write a song like that. I don't really work that way. It's for multiple reasons, partially because I'm still like learning how to play and make music every day, but also like authenticity within music is like so valuable. So I think it does kind of create my own sound. I like to call it when I play soulful folk. So it's a very like warm, soulful kind of voice, and it is singer-songwriter. I feel like I also was having like, didn't want to be put into that category of singer-songwriter for a long time.
Right.
For my own belief systems, probably, who knows, but like I am, and I'm okay with that, and it's a really beautiful place to be in, and it's taking me down a really cool path.
Your following and your fan base that has essentially, once you hear a Brianne Stone show, you see repeat visitors at Brianne Stone shows, and they followed you all around. Talk about how heartwarming it is to see familiar faces and people that you've essentially started this thing playing in front of with continue to go out and show support.
Sure. I mean, it's beautiful. It's really cool, and I feel like I've seen that massively here in Hastings. And that's like probably the first taste, and then now that I'm like branching out and playing in other places, I'm learning that I just had like 2 weekends ago and I went and I played 2 shows, and the turnout was not that great, but the feedback from the audience and the people that were there was really, really beautiful. And I realized in that moment what I'm doing is just putting my music out there, you meet people, you interact, you make friends in this little world. They tell their friends the next time in your town. They tell somebody else. They see that you're here. So it's like the next time I come back, I would imagine it's at least doubled, if not more than that, right? So seeing it in Hastings is really beautiful because it gives me a taste of it. And then I get to like come back and play in this like home-based place where I always have the most love for the people that are there.
Overall, when you take a look big picture, and I know that that's oftentimes scary, and I don't even like to look 2 weeks out in advance, let alone 2 months out in advance.
Same.
When you're thinking big picture, though, what's your dreams of this singer-songwriter career? What do you hope to be doing on the stage?
I mean, like, I think every musician has their what they want, right? Like big dreams would be playing Red Rocks at some point in my life. But I think to simplify it, I just want to be able to make a financial income doing something that I love full time. Is like really in its simplest form. I want to be able to provide for myself doing something I love. And I love music, and I love doing this. It's probably one of the most fun bits I've ever done in my entire life. It's so cool. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of work, but I'm enjoying it. Yes, they're big dreams, but just happy with however it flows and whatever that looks like.
The always camera-ready Brian Stone joining us this morning here on Huddle Up as we get set for Friday's show opening for the Blue Collar Band. Going to be just a great night. Food trucks available. We will have First Street Brewing on hand. I'll be manning the taps. Brian will be gracing the stage, and it should be a great night for the entire community. Brian, if people want to follow you and your musical journey, what's the best way to interact via social media?
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I'm not like the most prevalent on either, but I'm trying. I like to be a bit more ambiguous in private life, but it's the nature of where I'm at, eh? So Facebook, Brian Stone, Instagram, Brian Stone Music, or my website, brianstone.com, and that also has all my tour dates and stuff on it.
All right.
So, and YouTube.
Brian Stone again joining us this morning here on Huddle Up. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk with you, my friend, and we will see you on Friday.
Sounds good.
All right, so a big event coming up in Hastings, Brickyard Park Friday nights. Sounds like a good time. Great music, some great food. Good times there.
Good
Friday
beer.
night, Brickyard Park.
Yeah. Bring the family.
Right. So, guys, singer-songwriter on the show today.
Who knows who's going to pop in on Huddle Up? That's the fun.
Adding a little credibility to the show again.
I know, right?
It's a scary thought. 7:52, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. It's a Wednesday morning here on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Our top story this morning. Yesterday, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement conducted a significant raid at Glen Valley Foods, a meatpacking plant in Omaha. Approximately 75 to 80 workers were detained, with ICE stating the operation was part of a border criminal investigation into the employment of undocumented individuals. Despite the company's use of the E-Verify system, ICE officials criticized its effectiveness. Company president Chad Hartman expressed confusion and frustration, asserting that the company's full legal compliance. The raid has instilled fear within the local immigrant community, with many concerned about potential deportations and the separation of families. Protests erupting outside of the plant, with demonstrators attempting to block ICE vehicles and expressing solidarity with the detained workers. Meanwhile, Governor Jim Pillen and the Nebraska Department of Education hosted a ceremony at the state capitol rotunda to recognize graduates from the class of 2025 who achieved a top score on their ACT college entrance exam. Nebraska Department of Education Commissioner Dr. Brian Maher joined the governor to recognize the students for their outstanding accomplishments. Historically, on average, less than 0.1% of students score a 36 on the ACT. I can't even spell ACT. I got a 20. This year, 33 Nebraskans in the high school graduating class achieved that perfect 36 score. Meanwhile, baseball fans getting set to head to Omaha For the College World Series, the Nebraska Department of Transportation reminding drivers to be ready for heavier than normal traffic flow, especially on I-80. If you're headed to the CWS at Charles Schwab Field, you can expect delays and slow traffic, especially in construction zones near downtown and West Omaha. The Nebraska Department of Transportation reminds travelers to slow down and pay attention in construction zones. It is now 7:54. Just about 5 minutes till 8 o'clock. Let's head back to the East Side Studios for your check on sports. Here's Mike Will.
Well, Nebraska has landed another football recruit. Offensive tackle Rex Waterman of Chandler, Arizona is committed to the Huskers. He is a 3-star prospect, according to 24/7 Sports. The number 19 recruit in the state of Arizona, the number 107 offensive tackle in the class. Waterman had other offers from UCLA, Arizona State, Boise State, Duke, Kansas State, Northern Arizona, Oregon State, San Diego State, and UNLV before deciding on the Huskers. He is the 5th addition to Nebraska's 2026 recruiting class. Nebraska finished 12th in the final ESPN USA Today softball top 25 poll. Huskers finished 43-15 this season. Texas is ranked number 1. Texas Tech is 2nd, followed by Oklahoma, Tennessee, and UCLA. Rounding out the top 10 are Oregon, Florida, Ole Miss, Florida State, and South Carolina. Kearney Misco Sports scored 6 runs in the 5th inning to beat Hastings 5 Points Bank 6-3 last night out of Duncan Field. In the juniors game, Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes took advantage of 13 walks to beat Kearney Pinnacle Bank 17-12. Also last night, Grand Island Home Federal beat Columbus by the score of 8-3. Hastings will play Columbus tonight out at Duncan Field. The juniors game will be at 5. The seniors game will be at 7:30. We'll have both games here on Extreme Sports, beginning with a pregame at 4:45 this afternoon. Hastings Brunswick also in action tonight. They'll be on the road playing a doubleheader at Sutton beginning at 5:30. Hastings Sodbusters scored 7 runs in the 9th inning to beat the Casper Spuds 10-6 last night. Hastings now 10-1 in the season. Same 2 teams will play tonight. That's a check on your sports headlines coming up on 7:57 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
On this Wednesday, today will be the hottest day of the year thus far in 2025. 94 degrees will be the high, plenty of sunshine, a little breezy. Southerly winds 10 to 15 will have gusts into the mid-20s. Overnight tonight, we'll keep a little bit of wind and low of 65. 90s the high on Thursday, mostly sunny skies, still breezy. Then as we get through Thursday night and every night into the weekend, we bring in chances for showers and thunderstorms.
Right now, south winds at 8 miles per hour. It is sunny. It is 64 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
June is busting out in live music at Maleta Vista Winery. This is Mick, and there is nothing like a summer's evening out on our patio, especially when it's filled with great music, award-winning wines, and mouth-watering foods. Saturday on June 7th, you can come enjoy country music sounds of Grant Pickrell. Grant is from Fullerton. Then on the 21st, it's classic rock and country from Eben Rosentrader. Make your reservations now on our website at MaletaVistaWinery.com. Come see us, Maleta Vista Winery, St. Paul, Nebraska. Learn more on Facebook or on our website.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Every Friday night with high-speed thrills and dirt-flying excitement for the whole family. From A-class and non-wing warriors to junior sprints, junior cage karts, and flat karts, there's something for every race fan to cheer for. Grandstands open at 7. Ages 13 and up are just $10, and kids 12 and under get in free. Want to be part of the action? Pit passes are just $20, with gates opening at 5:30. And mark your calendars. June 27th and 28th, the now 600 National Series comes to town, featuring drivers from all over the nation and some of the best racing you'll see all season. Cam Raceway, where the dirt flies and legends are made.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
All right, Mike Will, Science Center of Bronick here on Huddle Up for a Wednesday here on Extreme Sports. Again, baseball coming up today. 4:45 for the pregame show. Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes will play the first game at 5 tonight. Hastings 5 Points Bank in the nightcap at 7:30. Columbus and Hastings Legion Baseball coming up today here on Extreme Sports.
7:30 on the Tube. Game 3 in Indianapolis tonight. The Pacers and Thunder tied at 1 game apiece. The line's at 5. Thunder the 5-point favorites. Are you taking OKC? At 5?
No, I'll take Indiana because I think I said Oklahoma City would win in 6 games.
Sure.
So I'll be on Indiana tonight.
All righty.
So
on the money line?
Yeah, I'll have to because I'm on Oklahoma City in 6, so Indiana's got to win another game somewhere.
Okay. Over-under at 228, which is still outrageous to me. 228 on the over-unders.
You like the overs?
Yeah, I do.
It'll probably be a low-scoring game then.
Thanks for your confidence.
Probably be a low-scoring.
In fact, 89% of the public vote or the public bet is on the overs tonight.
That's why it'll go unders.
89%.
What is it? 228.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have more, and that's with Wiesen all day today.
Yeah.
Our network guys are going to be at Rocco's.
What?
They're going to be at Rocco's in Omaha
For
during
the
the
Jello Shot
College World
Challenge?
Series. Yeah, they're gonna be there. I think they're doing their show there tomorrow. What is today? Today is Wednesday.
Yep.
They're going to do their show there on Thursday and Friday from Rocco's in Omaha.
We should go. We should go say hi. Drink with
the
the
Jello
guys.
Shot contest. They have that every year. Doesn't LSU usually win that hands down?
If LSU is at the College World Series, LSU will dominate the Jello Shot Challenge. And because LSU is in the College World Series, I have no doubt that they dominate. The only contender that I could see for the Jello Shot Challenge to challenge LSU would be that if a bunch of Nebraska people who are going to be basically backing Murray State because it's the Cinderella underdog and everybody loves a good underdog story, they would cast votes for Murray State, would be the neutrals. But LSU is basically going to make Rocco's their home, and they're about to make a lot of money this weekend.
I'm not so sure that everybody from Nebraska is going to jump on the Murray State bandwagon.
Sure.
Don't forget, Dave Van Horn is leading.
Yeah.
Dave Van Horn is the head coach at Arkansas now.
I know a lot of people like Arkansas. A lot of people are like me. A lot of people share the very similar experiences when meeting an LSU fan in Omaha and then becoming an LSU baseball fan, because even on the road you were so awesome and incredibly hospitable and inviting us to your tailgate party to have a crawfish boil when we're just two local schmucks from central Nebraska that are, ooh, what's this big shiny city in Omaha? Let's go watch a baseball game. LSU baseball fans are awesome. And so I've kind of become an LSU baseball fan when Nebraska's not in it, which is frequently. And so I'm a little bit torn. I mean, I'm not going to say everybody's going to back Murray State, but I think that you'll see a good majority of Racer fans just pulling for the underdog. Then so there's going to be your Hog Suey.
Yeah, you can go into Rocco's and you can have a Jell-O shot for each team. I know you won't stop at one.
I'm not a big Jell-O shot guy.
Oh, but if it's available, you would.
Sure.
Just to help out LSU.
To help the cause.
Yeah, anyway, we'll keep you up to date on the Rocco Jell-O shot contest.
Yeah.
It's always a big contest. That's a national thing. They talk about that all the time.
Mm-hmm. It gets nationwide recognition. ESPN even did a special segment on it.
Yeah, Veasan's going to be there, our network provider on this stream. They're going to be there Thursday and Friday, I think it was. So be listening for some updates on that. So that's what we got going today. Didn't get to our special days. There's nothing going on, is there?
No.
Probably too late to mention that.
Yep.
For the 11th day of June.
We'll recap it tomorrow.
If we missed anything. We'll recap that tomorrow. Anyway, thanks for Brianne Stone for joining us on the show today. She's going to be appearing at Brickyard Park on Friday. Stop out and see her. If you want to listen to that interview again or anything else that we discussed today on Huddle Up, you can go to our podcast section, download the podcast, and listen to us anytime that's convenient for you. So you can do that even on Roku TV. There's a app there that you can listen to this show again. Again, thanks for joining us on Huddle Up. Had a good time today. We'll do it again tomorrow morning at 7 here on Extreme Sports. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening